None other than Herb Dean, your referee for this one. Gray and white trunks for Roberto Hernandez, black trunks for Hollywood Brian Mitchell, who is vying for the following of Steve-O on Instagram. 3 5s on the clock. Touch of gloves as we get underway.
Am I wrong to think that Green Light is just the scariest fighter name ever?
Yeah, right. It's going to go at any second here. I mean, he's taking the center of the cage at the moment. Bit of gamesmanship from Brian Mitchell as he's changing his level, sticking his chin out with his hands down.
Ooh.
That's a lovely low calf kick.
Brutal.
That was like an ankle kick.
Just timed super well.
Oh.
And you can see both these guys, these featherweights, they're so fast they can just uncork it at a moment's notice.
Ooh.
No time to try to read the opponent. They're both going right in there, and I like it.
Yeah, I mean, that was a nice tight hook, but they're throwing a lot at it. These are big, wild shots from Hernandez. A little bit sketchy there, but he picks up the single, and immediately that whizzer comes in from Brian Mitchell, hoisting him back up.
Great head movement from Mitchell, too.
Yes, I'd like to see Hernandez engage his head up under the chin a little bit more here. Change that level down.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy being exerted right here just because that whizzer is so strong and he's trying to get his hips in so he can, scoop the leg, do something to try to get him to the ground.
Yeah, Mitchell really hoisting that arm up high.
Safe to say that Mitchell is winning this position so far.
Well, it's pretty...
he's in danger. It's like a 50-50, but
good body lock. Just got behind the hips, nice enough. And let's see what the ground game in defense of Mitchell is like. Hernandez, we know under Joe Stevenson, going to be very well versed. And of course, he did have that heel hook win back in March.
Oh, the elbows are looking pretty dangerous right there.
Yeah, so we're back to guard here. It's actually a single butterfly hook guard, which has a few options, but let's see what he can do. 3 minutes left on the clock here. Long way to go in this one.
Since they hit the mat, it's been Mitchell who's gotten the more damaging strikes in.
Yeah, but now that Hernandez is passing, he can start laying down his own, and Mitchell has to focus on escaping now, or getting back to guard at least.
What he's got to do is get those hands inside, use those frames, try and create some space to bring his leg back through. You see how Hernandez has really marched up over the top of that left leg of Mitchell. That's sitting on top of him in more of a half mount than a half guard. It goes for the knee bar. Spins through for the knee bar, but the knee's clear now, which is going to loosen it up.
That looks like that knee bar almost got on Josh this morning.
Tricky, Miss Hill.
Almost.
So that is a lovely bit of an attempt at a submission work from Roberto Hernandez, but now he's got to do the hard part of putting Mitchell all the way back down to the ground again.
Yeah, I wonder if he's regretting that.
Who burned more energy in that whole exchange?
It's actually quite tough to tell because Mitchell wasn't making too many explosive movements to get up, which means that Hernandez was probably really sitting his weight down on the hips and on that leg and not having to burn out too much to actually pin him.
However, Mitchell has a lot more muscle, which means he might tire more quickly.
Yeah, featherweights, the gas tank is so important. Let's see where we're going now. Brian Mitchell taking the center of the cage here, pushing forward, trying to find openings for strikes. It's good head movement from Hernandez.
That was a big punch he just landed, that right cross. But you have to think that he has to start pushing forward in order to really do damage. He was doing really well with those leg kicks, those calf kicks in the beginning, and now he's going back to them. It's a good way to find someone with good head movement.
Guys, do you feel like Mitchell has perhaps just that bigger air of confidence on the feet here?
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, until that happened. Yeah, but he does seem very in control of the pace and where he's at, and he's just looking for that shot. Mitchell does have knockout power, so he's trying to find when and where to throw it.
Into the last minute here.
Yeah, he's really swinging for the fences, too, when Mitchell throws.
Yeah, that's one thing I saw about Hernandez. He does pitch a little bit when he gets excited about getting that knockout. And if Mitchell has a good chin, he can use that against him. Ooh,
oh,
nice.
That's a lovely bit of counter work in the boxing from Hernandez. The slip in the right hand. It's so hard for him to get in on those hips. He's really going to have to level change to connect to Brian Mitchell again.
And I think, Steve, to your point, Hernandez does look like he burned himself out a bit on that takedown. And didn't really get that much 4 is for a few elbows to the head.
Well, as you said, Angie, it's such an attritional position, that wall work against the cage. Doesn't look like a lot's going on, but you're squeezing with everything you've got. 10-second clacker comes in, and we're going to see round number 1 in the books here.
Yeah, we are. Given what it looks like from his mouth being so open, I would put the live odds in favor of Mitchell.
Oh, Steve-O throwing some live odds out there. Well, Mitchell immediately back to the center of the cage here, looking to push forward. Angela, if you were in the corner of Brian Mitchell, what would your advice have been between that round break?
Man, I'd just say start changing levels, just like that. Changing levels with your strikes. Maybe try to bait that leg kick out so you can counter over top of it. And you know that Hernandez is looking for that big right kick. I mean, big right punch. So if he could bait that out and then come over top like he did with that nice hook, then he'll start damaging him.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Mitchell really respects the power of Hernandez.
Yeah, that can be dangerous. That was a good kick up the inside of the guard there. And oh, that's a bit of a slip from Hernandez. Well, he's faking the hip there, but these kicks have got to be set up. They've got to come behind punches in order to be truly effective. Pace just perhaps.
In and out and
it's hard to regulate your breath as well with that situation.
Because every time they come forward, you tense, and then nothing happens and you release. Ooh.
Hernandez trying to employ a bit of the jab here, something we haven't seen too much from either of these fighters yet, but Mitchell really trying to cut this cage off. Hernandez really trying to get lateral with the movement.
Oh.
One of the problems Hernandez is having is every time he goes to grab that leg, he's really just bending over. He's not truly level changing through his hips.
Now there's a lot of sweat too, so takedowns are going to be more difficult.
Absolutely.
Oh, that was a nice left.
And it looks like Hernandez is starting to find a bit of his boxing rhythm here.
Yeah, you know, with someone who moves a lot, the longer the fight goes on, the more you'll be able to track him, just because it's tiring. It's tiring to move in and out of position like that. It takes a lot more energy. As you can see, Mitchell's a lot more sweaty. He's working a lot more.
He's throwing a lot harder.
In that too.
Yeah, he's switching stance a lot, is Mitchell, but it's Hernandez pushing forward now. And Hernandez has definitely had the better of the exchanges on the feet. Halfway point of round number 2 here. This is our final prelim at Cage Warriors 143. We're going live at the top of the hour. 6 fights coming your way, live and exclusive on UFC.
Hook. I'd like to see Mitchell set up kind of a hook kick from the same side, something where it looks like one thing's coming and then he dips right into the kick.
Yeah, if Mitchell could set some punches up with the jab, that would probably help too.
Jabs are overrated.
That's a joke. I'm going to disagree with you on that one.
That's a joke.
So there we go. Good work from Mitchell. Really put his a lot of distance on that jab. Good work from Hernandez, though, being a lot more elusive in his head movement.
But see how he's pitching like that? That always scares me when I'm looking at a fighter, especially when they're fighting someone with heavy body kicks, because he could just be throwing a kick to the body.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen any knees from either of these two fighters as of yet. Duck your head, walk into one of those, you got problems.
Oof.
And that's interesting, or good advice, should I say, from the corner of Brian Mitchell. They're saying he's got to get going.
Right. He's thrown a lot of very hard punches that missed, and not a lot has connected. So,
well, this round is super close, and the first round probably went to Hernandez. So if he doesn't put a stamp on this round, it could easily go the other way.
How do you guys feel about the rhythm? Someone really could benefit from a tempo change here.
And by tempo change, you mean a level change?
No, I mean like mix up the rhythm, suddenly change. Yeah, they're kind of falling in for a tit for tat kind of rhythm at the moment.
Yeah, it's a bit like a dance right now. I think if somebody just went forward, and I think it would benefit Mitchell the most if he just went forward and kind of switched stance, threw some hooks like he's done in the past.
Not a lot of kicking going on.
Just perhaps sit in that pocket a little bit more.
Yeah, try to really put him up against the fence and land something.
Oh, that's good work from Hernandez. That one audibly ringing around the arena here.
Yeah, Hernandez is definitely his best strike of the fight.
Well, you can kind of just instantly see the confidence come into Hernandez with the body kick, the leg kick. He knew that one found the home.
Yeah, that strike earned some respect.
Yes, it did. Third and final round coming your way here. Herb Dean gets us underway. Again, Mitchell back to the center of the cage, something he's done at the start of the previous 2 rounds, and in on the hips, but easily shrugged off.
That was a well-timed shot, but Mitchell was just ready for it. Oh, man, like that scares me so much. If I was cornering that guy, I'd tell him to kick it.
Interesting, right? Because it's a fight IQ thing to be able to adjust on the fly, and we really haven't seen Mitchell adjust his game plan to try and take advantage of that.
We haven't seen Hernandez adjust to take care of that.
But when you're up, and things are working, you don't really look for adjustments immediately.
Yep. Like I said, I really think Mitchell needs that knockout.
Oh, no, I completely agree. He's got to push forward here. He's got to just try and get violent, get dirty, sit in that pocket. He's got really good power when he sits down on his punches and those short hooks, but he's got to find the target somehow, because the volume is just not there for him right now, despite the cage control.
Right. He's got the power to get it done.
And Hernandez is just really quick to step out. He looks like he's about to get pushed up against the fence, and then he just slides one way or another. I mean, even a shot would do something.
Yeah.
He'd at least know where he is and be able to come up and land a hook over the top.
Right, let's try and strike on the break or something. And that's a lovely takedown again from Hernandez. Straight into half guard here.
Nice.
Again, I'm going to say shoulders flat on the mat. It's much more like a half mount here. It's good upper body control from Hernandez. And let me tell you, with only 3 minutes left on the clock,
Even really have to pass if he doesn't want to, and just chip away at the clock.
Yeah, good guard retention from Mitchell here. He cannot afford to sit here. He's got to get posting on that head, trying to force the posture of Hernandez up so that he can do some form of escape.
Mitchell working to get onto his hip to get up, huh?
Yeah, he needs to put his feet on the hip, get a frame going underneath his neck or on his body or something. Maybe even grab for that Kimura now that he's trying to get on the side. He just has to mess around with something to get Hernandez to posture up.
Yeah.
Even elbows. Yeah.
Elbows on the ground are looking really good for Mitchell.
They are, and you can see how Hernandez is keeping his head in really tight. I'm a little bit concerned for him with his hands on the mat there. A little bit high, but that's the space, and he's going to go... He tried to go belly down, ankle lock set up again, and I think a little bit prematurely perhaps, because he's now got to do all that work over again. But Mitchell's got 2 minutes left here to try and turn this one around.
Yeah, he needs to empty the gas tank. Combination.
You know, the corner have really got to impress upon him. He's got to have that awareness of...
Keep your right ready. Keep your right by your face. Keep your right ready.
You haven't really... Uppercut was right there for that one. Just bait it and then throw, or slip and throw at the same time.
It's not as easy for a fighter to check the clock here, I notice.
No, there's actually only one big screen they could see, but you know, that's on the corners to make them aware of what's going on. And again, gamesmanship from Mitchell we saw right back at the start of the fight, putting his chin out. But I'm with you, Steve-O. It's go time for him now.
Yeah.
50 seconds left on the clock here. Hernandez still trying to go to work. been on his bike most of the time, moving, circling away from pressing Brian Mitchell.
Good looking jab.
Guys, do you worry that Mitchell's now being a little bit too predictable with his forward movement?
Well, he moves backwards when he slips the punch, and that's why he's out of range to throw the counter. He needs to slip to the inside, like slip forward, and then he's going to start landing more body shots as Hernandez is coming out of that missed punch. But yeah, I don't know. Hernandez doesn't seem to have the power to drop him right now, but you never know. Last 10 seconds, that's usually when crazy things happen.
You know, Mitchell's done so much to follow him around and just not capitalized on opportunities to throw his hands.
Yeah, it's a shame. He's going to look back on this, and it's going to be a great learning experience for him.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Here are the totals, 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Roberto Green Light